It's a girl thing. It's a
Okay.
black girl thing. Because, you get a hairdo and then just something in your spirit is like, I just want to be a new bitch. And
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Love, Lust, and Badass. So, and this is not another new co-host. This is still Tonya D. For all those who are watching.
it is, black girls know. Black girls, you know what's up.
So, I know we were kind of talking about it before we actually started recording. So, you mentioned before that you're likely to switch it up every pay period, like that. How much
Even
preparation
in between, it really
in between?
depends. Like, it's a girl thing. It's a
Okay.
black girl thing. Because, you get a hairdo and then just something in your spirit is like, I just want to be a new bitch. And the only way to get to that is to your hair. Like any traumatic thing goes through, and any women that go through traumatic issues or bad relationship or whatever, we just cut all our damn hair off. You know what I'm saying? We start there and then we work it on out. But I love changing my hair. I just love looking different.
So you like randomly big chop before, like just cut it off?
What? Are you kidding me? Absolutely. So let me see. 2000, I want to say 2015. And my natural hair was pretty long, but I was permanent. And then I was like, I'm going to just shave all my hair off, not tell anybody, because you don't need no damn warning. And it went well, except when I did it, it was like the winter was coming in, so the back of my head was cold as hell, and no one told me that you have cold scalp. I was like, I didn't even know that was a thing. So I can't chop it off anymore. Like, I've been natural for like the past 3 or 4 years, and my boyfriend told me I'm only allowed one big chop per relationship. So I used it, and so I don't get
Okay.
that. So I
Fair
changed my
enough.
hair in the meantime.
All right. Well, there you go. There you have it. So we'll be expecting the hair channel to come in soon. Are you gonna?
You know, I'm probably just too lazy for that. To be honest, too lazy for that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. So, kind of saying on kind of in that realm. So, one of the first things that we're going to be talking about today is thirst trapping. And so, because of you mixing it up, well, you said you haven't taken pictures with it yet. So there you go.
Not
Pictures come.
yet.
Not yet. It's coming.
Not yet.
So the question that we're having is: A, is there an art to thirst trapping?
Yes. Oh my. Yes. Listen. Okay. Thirst trapping is it is art when it can be very subtle, but not so much. It's like the picture of Tyra Banks that's like, give me this, but not so much.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing. It's like you want to be able to appeal. Like I said, everyone wants to feel sexy, and I don't think anything is wrong with people wanting to feel sexy or attractive, and also wanting to share that with people. The thirst trapping only gets crazy when it's in mass quantities
Okay.
and the quality is poor. Like, I specialize in tasteful news. I wouldn't say specialized, but tasteful. So whereas if they leaked, I wouldn't be tripping. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I wouldn't be that upset if those leaked. You know what I mean? And I feel like add a filter, add sepia filter, black and whites. Find your angles, find your lighting, and thirst trap. I don't think anything is wrong with that, whether you're in a relationship or out of the relationship. Of course, you just want to be respectful of your partner, of course, in a relationship. But I'm lucky that I'm with someone that just lets me be me and also trust me enough that it's not going to go too far. I
Okay.
mean, it's not going to be like open ass on my Instagram. You know what I mean? I really try to be,
So just the right amount.
judicious.
Just the right amount.
Yeah, judicious in the thirst trapping. And you got to time it perfectly. It's an art. It's an art. It's science. You got to add, subtract. It's a bunch of stuff. But I enjoy it. This really came from you.
It did not. No, it did. I guess it
Yes,
did,
it
didn't it?
did.
It did.
Yes,
Honestly,
it
it did
did.
start from me. It
It
did. It did.
honestly came from you. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna be honest. So I'm like scrolling and I'm like, is he smizing? I'm getting a smize right now with the eyes and everything. And then you probably just got a haircut. And, like, we really can't tell men anything when they get haircuts. So
Nothing at all. Not at all.
I get, that's why I said, like, I see you trapping, but I respect the game. I respect it because I get it. I get it. And whether
I've
you're
never
in a relationship or not, like, no one wants to not be attractive. So,
I've never thirst trapped a day in my life. I don't know what you're
oh,
talking about.
stop it. Okay. Stop. Please.
I don't know what you're
Stop
talking
it.
about.
Okay.
I'm
So
out here
when I
trying to
come,
I'm out here trying to live my best medium ugly life, and I feel like
you know what?
yeah.
You're starting to piss me off. You know black as well that, you're an attractive guy and women are going to be attracted to you. And so you help them with the attraction by finding the right lighting that tilts into the hazel of your left eye and shit like that. See, I already know. I'm on to you. I'm on to you.
You're not supposed to be able to pick up on stuff that quick. Like
I
okay.
know.
Well, there you
No.
go. Have you like so has there ever been what's been I know you've gotten it because everybody does. What's been the craziest like response you've gotten to a thirst trap? Like somebody who just is really aggressive in your DMs.
To be honest with you, oh, I really can't pinpoint one particular thing because over the years, it's just been a series of obscene things that people will say to you under the picture or DM you or whatever. There's really no limits. I think one of the top one was like, um, I just want to smell under your arms or
What?
something like that. Yeah,
Wait.
yeah, 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 yeah. All of my pictures, I've like archived all of my old pictures, so all of those weird comments are gone. But I think that I trained people in a way by not responding to
Uh,
comments, so they're not looking necessarily for a comment or a response from it. I'll just let people comment under the picture and I'll like it because I've seen it, but I'm not interested in interacting with somebody that thinks I'm attractive because it's like, where are we going? Nothing's gonna happen here. No.
that's yeah.
But you be trapping though.
I do no such thing. This is all it is. I mark it and that's all I'm doing. That's it. Nothing more,
Sure,
nothing less.
sure, sure. Whatever you want to call it is fine with me too. But I've seen the trappage. I've seen trappage.
You see,
It's fine.
it's got calmed down. If you would have been around like a year ago, you would have been like, "What are you doing?" Because it was crazy. It
Oh,
was
this is the
crazy.
mild version. This is the
This
mid.
is yeah.
Oh.
It's a reason why it's only in the stories now. If you notice, rather than the actual
Mm-hmm.
page itself, because it
Mm-hmm.
started comments started getting crazy, and it was like, "All right, we're gonna cut that out."
Mm. I bet it did. The smizing with the eyes and the. I'm on to
I
you.
have no recollection of what you were speaking about at all.
Have
So
you have you ever been in a relationship where your partner was just so anti you thirst trapping on socials?
oh yeah, I almost got cut once. Like
Okay, all right, because the smizing.
yeah,
Okay.
like there was gonna be no more of that because it was gonna be full Joker. Like it was just gonna be cut. Like
Now, was it the person's insecurity, or was it you going like OD on the thirst trapping?
no, it was the insecurity because it got
Are
to.
you sure?
I'm sure because it like as far as the quality of the post, there was no different in how it is now than then. But when I
Mhm.
say it used to be World War III, if it was anything more than a meme mug, it was a war.
Well, it depends. Like, I have this theory that sometimes insecurities don't exist in a relationship. Sometimes they're created in a relationship.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so, whereas a person probably otherwise never even gave a damn about what photos, what type of social media engagement that you're doing, um, let's say this person suddenly is like, wait a minute, this making me uncomfortable because people are reacting to you and responding to you in this way, and I don't like it. I never knew it was an issue.
And I
until
agree
I
with
got with
that.
you, and I'm seeing the other end, and now I don't like it. Like,
And that's the thing. Like, what do you have you found like in what we do, like in being more in the public eye and podcasting and stuff, that it draws those insecurities out a little bit more? Because I think that in
in
my situation, I
ourselves or
think
in other people.
in other people, because I think that's what started it. It was the fact that it was like it went from because in me having like I've had my for example Twitter for like 10 years, for example. I've been podcasting 2 years, so 8 years out of that, I probably had 250 followers. I'm up to like almost 2,000 now since podcasting, and because of that, like that influx of new people and who is this, who's that, they're seeing you. Like I think that drew up some of it.
Mm, well, I think for me, like I don't necessarily deal with that in this relationship, but I have dealt with certain things in previous relationships because one, I'm a thirst trap, but I'm not interested in like perpetrating my relationship on social media.
Yeah.
So it was kind of framed as if I'm presenting myself as if I'm single, because I wasn't OD with the couple pictures and we taking kissy faces at the movies. And like, I'm not that kind of person. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't really like to exploit my relationship that way. Um, but if I take a fire ass picture, it's going up there. And so you're just gonna have to. And so like in the previous relationships, it would really turn into like, why do you need this much attention? And I don't like this and I don't like that and I don't like this. And it really would out to me, that's a personal problem because I'm not gonna stop being me. Because I know my limits. I know my own self-respect. So I know the things that I will post and won't post because it's absolute heat in my photo gallery. But but it doesn't offer every 40 pictures I take, I may post two.
Okay.
For me, that's balance. Those two are going to be fire, but that is the balance. I will take 40, I will post two. The rest are for me, my partner, whatever. And but I think when certain people take all of their selfies and put, I mean, their thirst traps and throw them up on the stories and throw them on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, and then it I think it just waters down your quality.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see
I
it
can
so
agree with that.
often. It's like big ass girls with small waists, nice boobs on socials come a dime a dozen now. So when you see a fat ass, it's kind of like, oh, a fat ass. It's not like, you know what I mean? So people have become like kind of desensitized to trapping in a way. You know, you still fall for it, you still like it, you know, but I think that because people have kind of overdone it over time, um, that now is not such a big thing. Like I always worry about showing my full body all the time because I don't like the reaction to my body. Like I'm a thick girl in proper places. So it's like I'll get attention when I'm out in public and that's fine.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
when I've had people DM me and like, why don't you show your body more? And I was like, as if I'm obligated to do that because you want me to. The
How
obligation,
entitled do people have to be to ask
bro,
somebody this?
what? Oh, so you a part of Neck Up Twitter because you're like 300 pounds. I'm like, no, it's just one, my face is pretty, but two, I'm not pressed to do it. And then when I do, it's like, oh, you so thick, oh, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I see, that's why I don't do it. Like, I don't want that. I just want it to be a regular ass picture, like
Yeah.
everybody else that's trapping. But when I do it, people are like, whoa, 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 whoa. So like it's a balance. It's a balance.
Trap responsibly, my friend. Trap responsibly.
Trap responsibly.
Well, anything left on trapping before we move? We kind of touched on the next topic a little bit, so you ready to just
Yeah,
dive into it?
let's do
So
it.
the next one is the importance of being able to be yourself while in a relationship, and kind of how you deal with your partner's insecurities with what you post to social media, clothing that you wear, ECT. Like if anything that's naturally you draws up an insecurity. Like I said, we kind of went into it. How do you kind of deal with that while being in a relationship, but still being yourself?
I'll say that I don't really deal with that. I don't really deal with that to be honest, because It's like, as long as you know me, then you should be fine. And I feel like I'm pretty transparent. Of course, I wouldn't want, like, I guess it's different when men trap, I
Mm-hmm.
guess, because men kind of got to go out of their way. Women could just be standing there and take a picture, and men are gonna thirst.
That
But
is a fact.
men kind of got to do a little bit extra, because they don't have the accessories. They don't have like a ass, titties. Men have like a buffet of options to look at with women, and with women looking at men, we only have a couple: face, physique, teeth. So, for instance, if a guy is in gray sweats and he know his dick print is showing, and he's standing in front of the mirror talking about some shit he did yesterday. I'm like, okay, bro, we're not looking about whatever caption you're talking about. We're talking about the dick print that we see.
Yeah.
And it's things like that, like, I wouldn't see how a man in a relationship may do something like that. I could see how that could create a problem, because you're deliberately doing things. It's just like women who contort their whole bodies so their ass is showing, and then they put an emoji over their face because their face wasn't that cute at the moment, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And they twist their body around to show that ass. It's like, and so they're in a relationship. If I was their partner, I'd be like, why are you going above and beyond? This isn't like you're just chilling, you take a picture and it's fire and it's beautiful and people love it. There's nothing I can do about that. You're not doing anything extra. But it's when you're taking it to the next level, because it's like, what kind of attention are you trying to obtain by this type of pose? And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It
Yeah,
starts to get
absolutely.
like, what are you doing? Like, I had a friend who was dating this girl who needed to take a picture every morning, and I was like, nigga, that's exhausting. I
Yeah.
don't want to take a picture every morning, let alone take a picture of somebody every morning. And it starts to make you question the relationship that they have with their followers. It's like, what kind of obligation or what kind of parameters did you set on your social media of what kind of person you're going to be? Um, if you sold the idea that you're this fun person, then all of your posts are going to be fun and colorful and whatever. But if you set the precedence that you're this sexy person and you take these sexy pictures, and that's what people are going to expect whether you're in a relationship or you're not,
Yeah.
they don't really know or care about your personal relationship. So if we're in a relationship and I notice that you are what's the word, I don't know, I guess tending more, or catering, you're catering to what your audience wants to see, and you're catering to what people like, then we're going to have a problem in the relationship, because what they like doesn't matter. What I like does.
Yeah.
What can bother me or affect our relationship, that is important. But I also believe in letting people be themselves and letting them be free. And a part of that comes letting them have social media. Like, let them have it. Like, let them enjoy it, scroll it, like pictures, whatever. My only problem is anything in excess. You like a girl's picture, I don't care about that. If you go to her page and like 27, I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I am concerned. Why are you liking 27 pictures? And it seems trivial when you think about it in totality, like, oh, a like and a comment and an emoji. And it seems very trivial and small. But when you start to realize what they mean, it can change the dynamic of the relationship. So what I just try to be as plain Jane as I possibly can, as far as like posting pictures or whatever. I wouldn't say the picture is plain, but it's not going to elicit a whole bunch of crazy responses sometimes. And some of the stuff in my phone, I know for a fact that is going to get a certain type of response. So I literally go out of my way and don't post it, because I
Yeah.
just don't need the pressure for me. And I'm pretty sure he don't want to look at that shit either. You know what I'm saying? So I just try to be understanding.
Yeah. And I think with me, like in my relationship, it's always been that I've always been someone who makes off color jokes. Like that's just me. I make adult jokes. That's who I am. It's not distasteful, not like overly vulgar or raunchy, but I make little adult jokes. That's just what I do.
Like, oh no. What
Huh?
do you mean little adult jokes?
Like, for example, I'm trying, like, if somebody that I know, it's not random. So if it's somebody that I know is post like a certain picture, I'd be like, oh, you look like you're sitting on somebody's face. Like you like that smile, like you have, like it looks like you're happy, like you just got done sitting on several faces, like stuff like that. But because it's somebody that I know that they'll take it. But because it's public,
Right.
other people looking in and be like, oh,
Right.
that's how you joke. But it's like, okay, this is somebody I know. Like it's not that big of a deal. They know how to take me.
Well, but it
So,
is because it's
but yeah,
public.
yeah, and that's the thing. That's something that I've had to realize and take off. Like if you look at my social media now, like I still make jokes, but it's way more tasteful. And the ones that I would normally, like if face to face, I'll save that for either face to face or text message or whatever. I'll make those jokes there, um as well as like, I'm trying to think what else. I'm I've been told that like my natural, because I'm engaging, but I've been told that it comes off sometimes as flirtatious. So I
Hmm.
try to watch that too, because I try to be aware of how other people may take it. And I don't want the person I'm with to ever have to question like, okay, are you being flirtatious? So I watch it, and it's like, and part of it too is that I grew up in Europe, so like it's a lot different there. Like people have less inhibitions there. So like part of
Hmm.
my adult joke making is because I did grow up in Europe, where it's not that big of a deal to make a cocksucking joke. Like it's just not that big. It's not
Right.
distasteful. People do that in their 9 to 5 jobs and sitting in the office. So part of that has been me learning that, okay, I grew up differently, but I have to be aware of how other people may take. Like the people who grew up with me in Europe, we joke about, even in my family, we joke all day about off color shit. And
Hmm.
if people look from the outside in, they'd be like, they are some really, they are some open ass people. But it's not that. It's just that we grew up in a different culture.
Yeah, and I think for men, it's it's even more difficult for men because I feel like, especially if you're an attractive man, I think attractive people, period, attractive people who are nice, attractive people who are sociable, things like that, are easily mistaken for being flirtatious because just a simple act of kindness or just being fun or spontaneous or all those things that literally just make up your personality, and to you it means absolutely nothing,
Yeah.
and it's very harmless to you. um but I mean, I've definitely been in situations where I didn't know the person was thinking that we were dating, and I'm like, whoa,
Yeah. And
no,
that stuff is for
we're
real.
not. I'm just like, even when in my response, like if I throw something in my story and somebody responds to me and it's a guy, if it looks like you're not flirting with me, I'm going to respond.
Hmm.
If you're responding with, hey beautiful, oh gorgeous queen, Nefertiti, whatever, I no, I'm not gonna respond to it. But if it's just like, oh, you watched that at such and such, I'm like, oh yeah. So because I don't mind being personable, I don't feel like because I have a partner that I am prohibited from interacting with males in general. And I feel like I know where my limits are. If I feel like the conversation is going somewhere else, I'm gonna really write back in and be like, oh no, nigga, this is not that and that ain't this.
Yeah.
So, but I know that it is a little difficult when you're just being kind, or just being sociable to someone and you're attractive. It really does come off as flirting. So, I
Yeah.
agree. I agree.
And it's so weird because people will really make up these whole situations in their head, and you sitting there like, in what part of the conversation did you come up with this? Like,
I'm gonna tell you, you could be you could be talking and people are just it's going in one ear and out the other because they're already thinking about some shit they got going on in their own minds. So I understand that like men really may have a difficult time with that, especially um women who know that you're that type of person. If a woman knows that you're just kind of like a friendly person or sociable or extrovert, she wants to make you her bestie. She wants to make you her confidant and all of those things because she's finding some type of thrill from your interaction, even though for you it's harmless.
yeah,
Like I know that like my boyfriend could get in a situation with a female right now because he's that person. He's just gonna talk to you. So if a woman comes up, hey, so blah 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 blah, he's like, oh yeah, so I've been there the other week, and it was. He's really just being sociable, and it's very harmless. So I get it. I get it.
Do you feel like, does any part of you, like, how do you balance being in the public eye with like still wanting to save like part of either your relationship or just your life for you? Like, how do you balance that?
I'm very hands off, I
Okay.
guess, because like I don't even have a commitment to posting pictures. I don't have a commitment to being social. I don't have a commitment to doing any of those things because like the reason why I said I don't, I guess, showcase my relationship on socials because I believe that it opens doors for misinterpretation. It opens doors for problems and miscommunications, and we could end up in a like a brawl, like fighting, arguing because we posted a picture and some bitch went under it and put LOL okay. Now I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Is this your
Yeah.
other bitch?
Yeah.
Who is this bitch? And it's like, why even go through that? And I feel like I'm not hiding him. It's really like a protection of the things that I care about. And to be honest, I'm gonna have a really transparent moment. I'm gonna be honest. Like there are times where I feel like even being in this genre podcasting and things like that, I feel like I have shot myself in the foot so many times. I have let opportunities pass me by so many times
Mm-hmm.
because I fear giving up my freedom. I fear getting so famous. Like
Mm-hmm.
to me, success and failure feels the same sometimes
Yeah. Yeah.
because of the obligation that comes with um, being in the spotlight. And when so let's say this show catapults or my show catapults to number one, and suddenly people are completely invested into who I am. So I'm definitely getting, messages about showing my body more. I'm definitely getting messages about all these other things. And it's like get out of I'm trying to figure out how to balance that
Okay.
because I I just cherish who I am and I cherish the people that I love so much that I don't want to give them to the public because the moment people give a fuck about me, they're gonna give a fuck about them. They want to know
Yeah.
where my mother grew up. They want to know my family and my friends. And like, I feel like no one. I feel like if I'm giving my talent or service, and I become famous and people are digging up stuff on me, that's fine. But when it goes too far, like your family, we see it happen all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We watch all the time people just attack celebrities' kids. Look how we treated Blue Ivy. She was like two.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
her daughter. You know what I'm saying? And so when you're in the public eye, I feel like I would be one of those like Frank Ocean's, Adele, Sia. Yeah, just doing whole podcasts with my back turned. Just I don't want the additional from what I'm already dealing with because the entitlement that people have over you when you become famous, I feel like that's like the worst thing in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny because like I did this event called Cloud City this past weekend here, and doing being there, and it was like a group of like creatives and directors, and it was just a great event to be at. Like so many people stopped me and talked to me and stuff, and then one of my partners, Malcolm, he was like, do you kind of know that you're like a semi big deal in this city? And I was like, no, I never want to think like that. He was like, bro, literally, because he was wearing a t-shirt for my podcast. He was like, people stopped me and was like, is he here? Is Hayes here? And I'm like, bro, that just blows my mind. And so because of that, there is part of me who is it, like I have Hayes, right, and then I have Cordero, the person, and so I feel like I have to separate the two sometimes, and and it because of like I I want to be able to just be me. You feel me? Like I don't want to feel like I have to be on all the time.
Yeah.
And especially like doing this show and like doing live shows and stuff. And it's like people I find feel like I'm always this lively, goofy person. And it's like sometimes like naturally I'm an introvert. I want to be quiet. Like I really want, when I'm out in the world, I want to be quiet. And so it's a balance that I'm trying to strike now. It's like when to turn it off, when to turn it on, and I'm starting to learn to turn down some events just because of that. Like I still want to go, but I'm not going to go to do my thing. I want to go just to enjoy it. And because hopefully because I'm not on a flyer, I'm not on anything, I can go, I can get the hell out without it being a big deal.
But
So
people find you. They're like, oh,
yeah.
so and so is here. Oh, we can get this thing, and it's like because they see you as the entity, the
Yeah.
entertainer, and when you don't get a chance to turn that off, like I have such a deep sympathy, I guess, for celebrities because I understand it 150%. It makes no sense to us. Just the things that they do, the drama that they keep up, but there's a part of me that just um I feel so much compassion for them. And I know people don't like to because they're rich and they have everything, and why do you why do I need to waste my feelings on feeling bad for them? But really it's like I couldn't imagine having a talent that literally is so big I can't contain it, and I have to share it with the world. You know what I'm saying? You have a
Yeah.
Whitney Houston. There was no way on earth she was not going to be Whitney Houston. She had something. So you have these celebrities that have these talents that they give to the world, and when they give it to the world, it's like the world owns it now.
Yeah.
They own a part of your creativity, and because they feel like they own a part of your creativity, they feel like in turn they own you.
Yeah.
And so now you're operating out of your catering to the audience and being less of yourself. And that's why celebrities get lost. They get lost because they create a caricature of themselves. Cardi B is a caricature of herself right
Yeah,
now.
absolutely.
So when
Yeah.
she shows up to somewhere, she has an interview, whatever, they're like, go ahead and do it. Oh, go do your Cardi B. And so right on the spot is like, perform for me. Like, fuck you being a person, perform for me. And so that performative nature over time, that's why they end up on drugs, just trying to escape from having to be this version of themselves that they sold us. And now they have to be it.
Yeah.
So every time we see them and they're not that, we talk shit about them. They
Exactly.
change their hair, we talking shit about them. They
Hmm.
get pregnant, we talking shit about them. They have a family dispute, we talking shit about them. So I really, I really am curious to see how that's gonna pan out for me because this face belongs on the tissue. But I really am curious to see how I'm going to really navigate that because I told you, I've shot myself in the foot so many times because I'm like, I don't want to let go of my
Yeah.
freedom.
Yeah.
I still want to be me without being obligated to be the public version of me. So yeah.
Would you, and it's coming for you because you're inspired. I think in our first conversation, me reaching out to you about this, like you know the stories that you have, you know what you've been through, you know how you talk through that and really try to uplift people. So that future is bright for you. Just prepare for it because it's coming. It's coming.
Woo, woo. I'm gonna play this video, this podcast back when it happens.
Cool. Cool. All right, let's move into the next one. Our second topic for today, and this one is hilarious. So, I know you've seen it. Everyone who's been on Twitter has seen it. So this Dick Yelp reviews thing just it went viral. It blew up. Like you
Yeah,
couldn't be on Twitter without seeing the Dick Yelp review.
yeah,
But it got taken down, and it
yeah.
got taken down because celebrities start. And it's just, I'm not. Like, they say it's not because of that, but once
It
celebrities
is.
reviews started getting put on there, it's funny how it got taken down. So what do you think about this whole Dick Yelp madness?
I think Dick Yelp is a great tool. Just like men have had whole facts, which are just ridiculous, because
Yeah,
all a man has to just assume that you a hoe and
and
your
you
fucking credentials are messed up.
yeah,
Now, women are less inclined to do that because why would we just give ourselves a body? So I feel like one, that's fucking hilarious. And honestly, because the feminist in me, any way to stick it to the patriarchy is great for me, because you have men don't always get reviews of their sex, and that's another thing. Like, I was talking about it on my show on the Urban Sweet Talk, but I feel like men, if women aren't honest about what their sexual experience was with that person, like you moaned through it, you faked a nut, you did all of those things, you left in bed and you're feeling dissatisfied or unsatisfied, and he went to the bathroom playing the dick game because he think he laid it down. You know, the pat pat pat, and when you sling your dick on each thigh. Anyway,
Yeah.
men be in the
Wait,
mirror doing
do that
that.
move one more time. Just do that one more time.
Men, so there aren't always a bunch of reviews for men's sex or their sex activities. You know what I'm saying? It's always about how women perform, how we perform, what we're like, if we're sexy, is the pussy good, is it wet, is it tight? But no one is talking about the dickage. And that needs to be discussed, because there's so many men that feel like um their dick is the bomb. And girl, you ain't never had nothing like this. And then some women are like, thank God, because I never wanted it. I actually wish I could delete that body, but I can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, it drops off the sex credit like every 8 years or some shit. So
Was it a bankruptcy?
absolutely, like, you gotta wait till that shit fall off. And then that body never happened. It never happened. Especially if you didn't come. It really didn't happen. So men need dick reviews. So I'm sad to know that they took it down. Um, for women, I don't think it's because whole facts was a thing.
Hmm.
Because men go around asking other men about women, and all we have to do is just have this presumed guilt of being a hoe. And I mean, it doesn't stop men from trying to fuck us.
Yeah, most
Right.
don't care. They don't care.
Right. Because they also want a part of the hoe, but
Yeah.
they're not a hoe. They only insert themselves in one, and when they leave, then she's a hoe by herself. Because he didn't do anything. This is really how men think. Yeah, I'm gonna fuck her, but she's the hoe. I'm like, how only one of y'all is the hoe in the situation? You knew she fucked men behind dumpsters in plazas, and you still wanted to do it. This is the despicable part about men sometimes, because it's like, bro, you don't even care. Like, you look at the women, especially late night on Twitter. Here's another late
Oh,
night on
oh
Twitter,
man.
late
Let's
night on
talk about
Instagram. I'd be like, you're horny man. Yeah, that's you. What are you doing? Liking all of this stuff.
it. It gets real.
Anyway,
It gets real. Like it's after 11 p.m. You got to kind of bob and weave through it because
I'd be like, oh, so that's what you into.
yeah.
Anyway, I feel like men have done it from the beginning of time, giving reviews on women's sex, our bodies, our asses, our lack thereof, titties, lack thereof. And there's always been this open discussion on women and women's sex and whatever, but there's never this open discussion on men's sex. And men sh- actually should read these reviews, even if it's not for them. I wish it was still here, just to read some reviews and be like, that's an area I can improve. So,
But nobody
men,
takes like that. But oh, she lying, man. She just mad because I didn't get with her. Like that's
you
what.
see, that ain't never gonna be the case. She lied on me because I wouldn't let her fuck. That will never be the case. She wanted the dick, but I was like, no, no, that's never happened in the history of never.
Would that be a hit to your
So,
ego if that happened to you?
huh?
Would that be a huge hit to your ego if that happened to you? If you was like actively trying to get someone there, like you know what, I'm good.
If someone denied me sex,
Yeah.
oh, that would not go well. Oh, let me tell you, my pride and ego bruised, broken, disgruntled. um, any negative word, because it's like women never have to do a lot to get sex. You know what I'm saying? It's always just there. Dick is like air. You know what I'm saying? It's everywhere. So we don't have to really do much to get it. So when you finally come across someone that's like, oh no, I don't do that. I'll be like, oh, that's cool. So goodbye. I'm never seeing you again.
Do they get blocked after that?
I will fall off the face of the planet. Yes, I will. And plus, you're not gonna tell anyone you denied me, Dick. No. You don't get to tell this story, nigga. I don't even remember it. It never happened.
That is hilarious.
Denying me. What
Oh,
type of shit is
that is hilarious. Oh
no?
wow.
No.
Um,
So how about you? Do you find this that it's one that has been removed, but did you find like any issues with the Dick Yelp?
nah, I mean, because like you said, like people do it just on their timeline all day long anyway. Like the fact that there was like a centralized place people could just go for it. No, I mean, I don't have any issue with it. It's. But then again, I haven't popped up on it, so.
That's why.
Well, I mean, I've had stuff written into this podcast before, but that was before you got here, so you don't need to know about that.
What?
Yeah, I'll send you the
Okay,
episode. To listen to it's yeah, it's happened a few times actually, but
I believe it.
anyway,
Don't be being innocent. Stop it.
anyway,
Playing innocent.
but no, I didn't see any issue with it at all. I mean, I was shocked when it started getting like celebrities started getting reviews, like especially like the married ones. It was like, oh, y'all really don't give no damn, like y'all for real. But I
That's
mean,
why they shut that shit
yeah,
down, breaking up their happy homes.
oh yeah.
Like
'Cause I think there was one
backspace delete.
on like Idris Elba or something, and it was like, oh, okay, okay, y'all, this is what y'all doing. So yeah,
If men were more confident in their dick game, that wouldn't even bother them. It'd be a breeze.
that's
They'll
true.
be looking forward to it. See what the review is. Because that little quick review, you know how you finish having sex and the person like, oh, so trying to get a little recap or a gauge how it was
Good.
for you.
Are you good though? Like, go ahead.
You straight? You need some juice? Like, no, nigga, you ain't do nothing worth needing juice. So, I am fully hydrated still.
Why do I have this picture that you were like the most cutthroat, like you would kick somebody out, like that was terrible.
You have no,
Got
let
it.
me tell you, okay, the savagery that used to be me, okay, honey, if you're listening, sorry. Um, there were times where I'd be like, yeah, so literally you can come, we're gonna smash, um, we're gonna talk some shit for a while, and then you're gonna go home. Like that's my plan. Like the spending the night, no, no. So he came over, he's like laying around. When I got up to go to the bathroom afterwards, I put my robe on and went to the bathroom. When I came out, I had politely got his jeans, folded it over my arm delicately to let him know that he can grab it. I got his keys because he left it on the counter. And I'm like, here you go. And he's like, oh, so I gotta go. I'm like, immediately. And he's like laughing because he's embarrassed, like, oh, you crazy. Oh, but he's still getting dressed and I'm happy. And he got to the door and I dapped him up, like, no doubt, that was good. Appreciate it. Good looking out. He's like, so I'm gonna call you. I'm like, nah, we will see about that next time. But
Oh,
just the way that I was, and it's like, you will never be able to call me a liar. Okay, I'd rather you say that I'm mean or whatever than to say that I'm a liar because I know I have definitely walked men deliberately to my front door right after. Like there's no seconds. There, no, we did it. It's done. You can go home.
well, okay. Savagery 101 from Tonya D.
Then you'll
That's
know.
yeah, let her know. Oh, let's move into the third topic for today. This one has been one that's been like I've seen more and more on my timeline over the like at least maybe the last year, definitely the last 6 months or not so, and that's these remote control vibrators.
Ooh.
So like what do you think about the trend of this? Like I'm sure they've been around longer, but what do you think about the trend of not only doing it but posting the video of the reaction of the girl? Like what do you think about that?
I think okay, so the concept in itself is genius.
Yeah.
It is genius because I love those things. I love anything, especially sexually, that gives you guys memories. And you share that with somebody, of course, that's special. You wouldn't give the remote to a nigga that don't text you back consistently. No. But if you're in a relationship and you kind of just want to explore, you want to spice it up, or I want to say spice it up because that gives the idea that the sex has gone bad, and that's not true. Sometimes you're just interested to do other things. And I think that's perfect because it's very intimate, it's controlled, and
Hmm.
even if it is in public, he has control. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And presumably you're putting that in the hands of somebody that you trust, right? But as far as posting the videos, I also don't think anything is wrong with it because it's not. We've seen much worse. We've seen people die on
Yeah.
the internet. So a woman kind of like getting aroused by the remote or whatever. I don't think anything is wrong with it. Actually, I mean, I'm on the internet right now. One, because I think it's fun. I think it's interesting, and I feel like post more videos of you guys doing it, especially Black people. I like to see Black people um explore more sexually
Yeah.
because we're always over sexualized, so we kind of like try to tone it down sometimes. But I
Yeah.
feel like do it, man. Enjoy yourself, especially if you're in a relationship or dating somebody that's also with the shits. That's another thing. You have to be with somebody with the shits. Because if you present this to someone and they're like, I don't think that's appropriate, and I don't think I
Oh,
don't
that's such
really
a
know about
buzzkill.
that.
That would be such a buzzkill.
Oh, boring. So
Yeah.
yeah, have fun, guys.
Yeah, I'm very much like you. Like I do it's nothing distasteful about it at all. Like have fun, and it's something that really only you yeah, if you post a video, people who watch it will know, but at that time, like who cares, you're in a room of crowded people, it's not like you're fingering her. Like you're doing something that only you two will really know what's going on.
Right.
It's intimate. Anything that builds intimacy in a relationship is amazing. It's good. It strengthens it. So and yeah, even regardless of all that, it's just fun. Have
It's
fun, people.
fun.
Have fun.
To me, the worst thing that can happen is something bad. Oh, no, I would say the best thing that can happen is something bad because now
Yeah.
it's a funny memory. And I
Yeah.
remember that time we tried that. Those are great times. And so, like, to me, the worst that can happen is something funny. And I always remember it. And if it's not funny, then it's going to be enticing or intimate or personal or sexual or sexy. I think all that stuff is fun. So, I mean, guys, don't whip out like a dildo at
Yeah. See, that's
Piccadilly's or
too much.
something
See,
like
some people
that.
go
No.
overboard with it. Like,
Yeah. Moderation.
yeah.
Moderation.
Okay. Last question on this before we go into our break. Would you maybe you have? Would you ever use one of these?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm on the interwebs right now.
Yeah, yeah. One may be getting ordered soon around the Johnson household, but I'll just leave that alone. But that's enough of that. We're getting ready to go into our break. When we come back, we're gonna answer some of you guys' emails. We'll be right back after this. Tell you what, there's nothing like ice cold water. I love it.
For your soul.
Yeah.
You ever drink some first thing? Like, I try to drink warm lime. I'm saying warm water and lime in the morning. But sometimes, like, especially in the middle of the night, you just get something to drink. That cold water goes through your spirit.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it does. Woo. Ready? You want to read the first or the second one?
I'll read the second one because I read the first one last week.
All right, cool. All right, let's do it to it. All right,
Okay.
and so we're back, and we're gonna read a couple of emails that we got this week. Hey, you guys have been sending in a lot of emails. Tanya, I have to get you the login information for the email so you can see some of this. Because
Please do.
yeah,
I will
yeah,
read.
remind me that after we get off this. But this first email is a good one, so I'm gonna go ahead and start reading it. It is my longtime friend tried to kiss me while his fiance was asleep in the other room, and I do not know how to comfort him about it. In a nutshell, if I do confront him, how do I do it, and how do I get him to admit his wrongdoing? I feel as if he could easily deny it and turn the tables on me. If I was his fiance, I would want to know. I'm considering drafting up a response explaining why we can't be friends anymore. I'll make it unarguable as to why. I'll thank him for the time we had together, but close on the fact that I did not feel comfortable with this level of intimacy among friends. I think I should give him the option to argue, and despite what he says, I should stick to my decision. Thank you for any advice that you could provide. Woo.
Woo chow woo.
Yeah.
Woo chale. Well, I'll say that you don't owe him any extended response or explanation because he is fully aware. I don't know if this is a man or a woman, but they're fully aware of what they did to make you feel uncomfortable. And I feel like sometimes we offer too much of an explanation for our absence. If I need to be out of your life for whatever reason, and I feel as if you understand exactly why that's happening, I'm not interested in a long dialogue of what we need to do and our friendship. Like, I know that when it's a longtime friend, of course, you want to give them that liberty of going, okay, this is why it made me uncomfortable. This is why I'm taking this position. But it's almost like a deliberate disrespect, um, one to you, and then to the fiance, because I don't know how long you guys have been friends, but one, I wouldn't involve the fiance, but um I would definitely need to separate from that person because I can't see it escalating from there. I can't see us having a stronger, better friendship from you trying to kiss me. I don't see that because from that moment you let me know how you see me.
Yeah.
And that all the time that we had together, it may be one thing to me, but for you it's something different, and enough for you to feel like you want to kiss me. um and I feel like just separating yourself from the friend is sufficient, and they know exactly what they did to violate you, so I don't think it needs a drawn out explanation. um and like you said, you're going to stick to your decision no matter kind of what happens. So I don't think anything is wrong with just completely falling back from the situation and the person without having to give people a complete explanation for your absence.
I agree with you. I think we get caught up in like closure and overly providing it, and sometimes you just have to get the hell out of there and go.
Right.
Um,
Grab your shit and get out.
yeah, because especially in a situation like this, like what what could he say to you that would make this any better? It happened. You guys both know what happened. You know how you feel about it. You can tell him if you feel like that you want to end the friendship, but you really don't owe anything other than that,
Mhm.
regardless. And I definitely wouldn't include the fiance unless you have like a super close relationship with the fiance as well, because that's just bringing more mess, and that does
I
leave it
wouldn't.
up. Yeah,
I wouldn't. Unless you succeeded, unless we smash, unless it has to be extreme for me
okay,
to blow up your life like that. I
okay,
feel like I don't need to blow up your life because you know you're wrong and I know you're wrong.
yeah, true.
And so my absence is enough. Your fiance at some point is gonna be like, "Where is Tonya? I haven't seen her in God knows when." That's up to you whether you want to explain that. But I'm not gonna blow your shit up unless you do something so outlandish and so disrespectful that I have to.
Okay,
But trying to kiss me is not enough for me to ruin a potential marriage. It's just not. They'll sort that out on their own. It will manifest in their own relationship in one way or the other. But
very
I'm
true.
out of it. I don't want to be the factor that was like, oh, I'm calling this off because you tried to kiss her. Like, what are you going to do with that information as a fiance? Like, your fiance tried to kiss somebody, not even succeeded. I'm like, nigga, you a failure. Let's start there. You didn't even succeed in kissing her. You tried. But no, you don't owe anybody any explanations. It could be a sharp, emphatic no, full stop, period.
There you go.
Hmm.
Full stop. Well, that's that one. That was a good one. Keep sending them in, people. We do definitely appreciate the engagement with the emails. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying. And one thing I want to say, we would very much appreciate follow ups on some of these. Like,
Yes,
yeah,
please.
yeah, please do, because we're invested at this point now, so we want to know how stuff ends, how it works out, how if you use our advice or if you didn't. We so send us that those follow ups as well. So there you go.
Please do. All right. Our second question, I'm not sure who this came from, but um I've never been in a relationship. How do I get over a huge crush? Ooh, child. Personal issues. I met someone a few months ago, and over the last few weeks, I've developed a crush on them. It's been making me feel miserable. I've tried I've tried to forget about them so many times, but the feelings keep coming back. I don't want to cut contact with them because I see them as a good friend. To complicate things, oh, I've never been in a relationship. Everyone I've been interested in dating has always turned me down. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. I read that completely wrong the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so everyone I've been interested in dating has always turned me down. I don't expect things to be any different this time, and I haven't made my feelings clear because I don't want to lose them as a friend or make things awkward between us and within our friendship group. How can I move on? Okay, so you want to go ahead
I really,
and answer that first?
I don't know if I have great advice for this one. Because I've never been in a situation like this. I would. It's hard to put. It's sometimes hard to put feelings back in the box, right? Like once that kind of gets out there.
Pandora's box.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can't. It's hard to box things back up. So if you don't feel like you have to decide. All right, is the friendship worth possibly losing by opening this box and telling them how I feel? Or
Mm-hmm.
do I and do I think that it's not going to be fruitful for us to even try to pursue something else? Like you have to kind of rein it in and remember why they're your friend. If that friendship's worth losing or taking a chance on losing, I guess go for it and let them know how you feel. But nothing in your letter indicates that your feelings are reciprocated at all. So because of that, it tends to make me think you should try to keep that box closed as long as you possibly can because it may, like you said, make things awkward for not only you and them, but also that whole your group of friends that you have.
Um, my advice in this situation, I know it's probably against what I probably would say, but here we go. So I feel like it would be appropriate in this case to dispel like your feelings for that person because they clearly, like you said from this email, it doesn't look like it's any reciprocity going on, or you haven't written about it. Um, but I feel like that's a conversation that needs to be had. Hey, I know we've been hanging out, and I know you may not feel the same, but these are my feelings, and I don't know what to do with that. And that person will let you know. But I feel like because you said a few months ago, so opposed to like the last question, this is a person, a long time friend. This is someone you literally met a few months ago.
Yeah.
So to me, it's not like you would be giving up forever. It's not like you'd be giving up the tenure of a 15-year relationship or what have you. So the less time that you have been with that person, I feel like the less you have to lose.
That
And
makes
by
sense.
your honesty. So, and I know that when you care about people, you like people, whatever, you want to keep them around as long as possible. But when you start developing feelings for them, it's the secrecy of the feelings that literally drive you mad. It will drive you crazy. Um, let's say that person is dating and they want to confide in you about that dating. You're going to be just gritting your teeth through the whole conversation.
Yeah.
Wow. Gritting your teeth through the whole
Mhm.
conversation. Um, because you can't bear to listen to this woman or this man talk about this person that they actually do like, and the feelings are reciprocated, and so they're going to consistently put you in that friend zone type of, you're only friend zone because of your feelings.
Yeah.
If you did not have those feelings, it is not the friend zone. You're just being a friend.
Yeah.
So I would say to be honest and say, hey, I know it's uncomfortable, but this is what's happening and I can't really fight it anymore or pretend like it's not happening. Um, and let that person deal with that how they may. They may be like, oh, I never even thought you looked at me this way. Yeah, we can go for a drink. Or I never looked at you that way. You're like a brother to me, you're like a sister to me, and I don't know what to do with that information. But you know how to move forward with that because you laid it all on the table and you let that person know this is where you are. And if you lose a friendship that you've acquired in a few months, then so be it. So stop being soft and scary and go ahead and just say how you feel. And keep us posted because we need to know the results.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is definitely one that we would like to hear how that conversation goes. And you make a great point too. The friendship is so new that it should be able to recover either way, I would think.
I think that
C-
about relationships too. If we're
yeah.
dating, I don't have any qualms about telling you that right now because I've lived X amount of years without you.
Hmm.
And I'm going to live X amount more without you. And I know that I will survive without your presence. But I'm not going to not be honest with myself, especially if I'm around you and I'm starting to have romantic feelings for you. The more you bottle it up, the y'all, I don't know. I don't know what my audience is like, but if you watch Dawson's Creek, you know exactly what I'm talking
Ooh,
about.
I'd say, and, that's one of my guilty pleasures. So don't judge me. I watched the hell out of Dawson's Creek.
Side note, it's on Hulu, but it does not have the intro song. And I'm
Really?
pissed.
What?
I am
How do you have that without the intro song?
they never paid for it. They didn't pay Hulu. Right. To
Wow.
use the I don't wanna wait. That's like the second reason why I watched that show in the first place.
Yeah.
For the intro. But it's gone. Anyway, it's important to just divulge when you have those feelings, especially for a new relationship or friendship or whatever it may be. As new as it is, that should give you more incentive to say it just the way that it is. Because yeah, you'll miss them sometimes, but over time, and you never know, it could develop into a your first relationship. Also, we did touch on the fact that you said you've never been in a relationship
Yeah.
because that is a little alarming.
How, there's no age in this. So when you send a response in,
Yeah.
I would like to know how old you are, if you're comfortable with that, because to say that you've never been in one, that does raise a lot of questions, and it may explain why it's hard for you to get over a crush because you've never really
Got
experienced.
past that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So that could be a first one, or it could be completely heartbreak. Don't know, but keep us posted.
Well, that's it. That was all we got for this week, Miss Tonya D. Do you have any parting words, wisdom, or anything before we get the hell up out of here?
One thing that came to me in meditation, because I meditate in the mornings, is the saying that eyes are windows to the soul.
Mhm.
And when I came out of my meditation, I realized that eyes are the windows for the soul. So it's not that people are peering into your eyes, it's your soul is peering into the world. You understand?
Ooh,
It
okay.
is the window for your soul. Um, so the only way that you're experiencing life is through your eyes, through your senses. And so how could the eyes be the window to it? I feel like your essence is too big to have a window to it, but it definitely needs a window to look out, which are your eyes. And that's how you perceive things, that's how you understand things. It's all about what you perceive, and what you perceive is with your eyes. So it's actually windows for the soul. To me, I could completely be lying, but that's what came to me in meditation, and I wanted to share that because I love it so much.
Well, damn. All right. I said it. I already said you got a special call, and you just dropped some knowledge. This is what you do. This is what you. This is what you're here for. So.
I feel like.
Well, I have nothing is as insightful as that to say, so I'm just gonna go ahead and not say anything. But you didn't give them your social media either, Tanya, so they can follow you.
Of course, you guys can hit me up always on the Twitter machine at I am Queen T. I am QWEENTEE. Same thing on Instagram. Don't be creepy. And of course, make sure you always check out Urban Sweet Talk podcast, which also will be available on the Brex Media as well. So, yeah, see you guys next week.
Absolutely. You guys know where you can follow me. You can follow me at CEO Haize, at CEOHAIZE. Make sure you leave a review. Any questions, feedback, comments, concerns, you can send them into lovelustandbas at gmail.com. And that's it. This is another week of the best adult podcast around, and we're out. Peace. Bam. Another good one.